Okay, welcome back. Underwater levels. Not doing any score chasing today. Today we are doing a long play of Doki Doki Panic, playing on an authentic cartridge on the NES Cartridge. So let me first go ahead and get a couple of housekeeping items out of the way. If you have photosensitivities, you have been warned. This game does have a couple of sections. Speaking specifically about the waterfall animations, World 3-1 in particular, where um, the waterfall animation can be a bit harsh, and if you have photosensitivities, you have been warned. Watch out for 3-1. Also, just wanted to give a couple shout outs first to my pal Rockin' Cat Reviews. If you're interested in long form retro game review content, his is the gold standard. Highly recommend it. If you're in the mood for something a little more short form, quick and amusing, recommend The Vintage Gamer. And if you're in the mood for something really off the wall, I recommend a channel I just stumbled across the other day called 8-Bit Flops. They are absolutely hilarious. They're very high energy. They're younger, they look like early 20 somethings, and I watched their Super Mario Bros. 3 live stream the other day, and they're very entertaining. It's refreshing to see younger retro gamers that are so enthusiastic. So anyway, what we have here, I'm sure those of you, if any retro gamer worth their salt knows about Doki Doki Panic, Super Mario 2 USA, Super Mario 2 Japan, The Lost Levels. I'm not going to rehash all of that. But what I will say is this intro is definitely different. I'll talk about it a little later in the playthrough. For right now, let's go ahead and start. So this is Imagine. He is or Imagine, I'm not sure how to say his name. He is the one that plays like Mario. This is Lina, the one that plays like Princess. This is Mama, the one that plays like Luigi. And this is Papa, the one that plays like Toad. We're going to start with Imagine. I'm not sure if it's Imagine or Imagine. Okay, so how did I get this cartridge? That's probably the question many of you are wondering. Okay, so those of you who've been paying attention to this channel from the beginning, you might recall that one of my first videos on the channel was Donkey Kong Updated Edition. There's our first waterfall animation, by the way. Donkey Kong Updated Edition was an NES cartridge. I found a listing for it on eBay because I'm very much into score chasing, very much love Donkey Kong. And always found it disappointing that there was, whether it was the NES Black Box port or even the NES Arcade Classics version, the orange NES cart that had Donkey Kong and Donkey Kong Jr. on it. Regardless, both of those versions did not have sometimes it's called the cement factory, the pie factory is what it's also known as. Neither version had it. So I was looking for someone that might actually... I was looking for some kind of workaround, and I stumbled across a listing. I guess you'd call it a homebrew. But there was a small shop on eBay, and they had for sale, they had a lot of interesting games. One of which was the Donkey Kong Updated Edition. an authentic board inside of a cartridge. You pay a little more, but they build you a cartridge, put a nice clean label on it, and it would have Donkey Kong, you know, the version that they eventually released, I think on the Wii Virtual Console, but it's a fixed version of Donkey Kong that actually has the missing third stage. I'm terrible at the slot machine. I think this slot machine might be a little bit easier. We'll make sure we play as every character, by the way. But anyway, so that cartridge was made for me. It was fantastic. Loved it. One of my first videos on the channel is me playing Donkey Kong Updated Edition. So I got back in touch with him. This is back in 2020, I believe. Got back in touch with him, and yeah, because I was so satisfied with it. And he also had in his shop Super Mario Bros. 2 Japan. Yeah, the Japanese version. An authentic board on an NES cart. Oh, shouldn't have done that. And Super Mario Bros. 2 Japan, I did actually play on this channel. I should probably play it a little more, as well as Donkey Kong Updated Edition. But absolutely love those cartridges. And he also had in his shop Doki Doki Panic, which I remember I really wanted to purchase it, but for whatever reason, I just never got around to buying it. And get as many coins as possible. You know, the years went by, and then it was just a short while ago, I was really jonesing to play Doki Doki Panic on, I think at the time, you know, the 2020 or 2021, I just figured, oh, I have Super Mario Bros. 2 USA, it's the same thing. But as time went by, I, you know, was kind of kicking myself for not having gotten the game. Oh, there we go. That's what we like. Yeah, this slot machine is definitely a little easier than the one in Super Mario 2 USA. Look at that, we got 20 lives already. Alright, this level we will pick Mama. Anyway, so about a month ago, I got in touch with, or I found him on eBay. I had to peruse through all my old purchases. Oh, come on. But I found him, and, you know, I sent him a message on eBay. His store, he didn't have Doki Doki Panic. He didn't really have any games. He just had, like, parts for assembling your own NES cartridge. So I sent him a message. I said, hi, don't know if you remember me. I purchased Donkey Kong Updated Edition from you, as well as Super Mario Bros. 2 Japan. They're great cartridges. I love them. I was wondering if you were ever going to restock Doki Doki Panic, because I don't see it in your shop. I didn't see any games in his shop anymore. So I got a message back, and he said, yes, I certainly remember you. Glad you enjoy your cartridges. I'm not really making... I don't have time to sell them the way I used to. However, he did offer, if you're willing to wait a couple weeks, I will build one just for you and sell it to you at a private listing. So he created a listing. You know, I agreed to it. Said that would absolutely be fantastic. Had to wait a few weeks for him to build this cartridge for me, but there's an authentic board in it. I mean, this is just fantastic. I am absolutely in love with the fact that I have an actual board that I can play Doki Doki Panic, as you know, as well as Super Mario Bros. 2 Japan and Donkey Kong Update Edition on my NES Cartridge. Alright, come on, Mouser, start throwing some bombs. There we go. And I've made this point already about some of my custom cartridges. You know, this one, you know, Doki Doki Panic, as well as Donkey Kong Updated Edition. Oh, sand levels, so we're gonna pick Papa. I've also made that point about my Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It's an authentic board, but it is in a really cool green. A clear green shell. But, I mean, if you could show like this, or, you know, my TMNT. Or my Super Mario 2 Japan, or my Donkey Kong Updated Edition. If you could show it to someone back in 1989, 1990, like, you would have blown their mind. Like, this is a really unique and cool cartridge to own. How cool are these uh, character sprites? You know, Mama, Papa, Lina, and Imagine. Very cool looking. Like, how many video games back in the late 80s or early 1990s had you play as Eastern type characters like these? I can't think of that many. It, I know it's a simple design, but they've got a lot of personality. Okay, so now a quick talk about a couple of things I've noticed. So it does have a different opening than what it is than Doki Doki Panic. I did notice that. Doki Doki Panic opens up with the city and the clouds in the sky and I think like a didgeridoo or something. So that's missing. Also, I already beat this game. The audio did not come out so good. Had to mess with the settings to get it right. But the ending is a little different. It's shorter, I should say. Oops. Not that it matters, but we'll go ahead and get the heart. We already have well more than enough lives to beat the game. Now, the name that it showed on the title screen, Christian Vasquez. So, I can't find too much information about it as of right now, but it looks like Christian Vasquez may have either done some of the artwork or programmed. I'm not sure yet. But when I Googled Christian Vasquez Doki Doki Panic, it looked like he was working on some type of build. He called it Mario 2 Beta, I think. If I find more information on that, I'll update this as necessary. Okay, here we have the fight against Triclide. By the way, on the horizon, okay, 3-1, I suppose we'll use Imagine again. Lina, or Lina, I don't know how to pronounce it, I think it's Lina. Okay, so 3-1, this one, again, if you have photosensitivity, this is the one I strongly caution you about. You've been warned. So glad they fixed this in Mario 2 USA. We've got enough lives at this point. I should really be more concerned about looking for the heart. So those of you that have been paying attention to the channel know that, well, I'll get into the score chasing thing in a little bit, but I do have a great surprise coming. It is a game that I've been dying to do on this channel. It was kind of difficult to get here in the USA, but I did finally find a way to get it here. It's got a great story behind it. Oops. Let's use Imagine again. Now, regarding the score chasing, those of you who've been following the channel know that I have been on a bit of a roll. I set 7 world records in the last month on the NES Classic Edition. Let's see, we set high scores on Pac-Man on the NES Classic for high score. All of them were high scores. I don't do speedrunning. But high scores in Pac-Man, Donkey Kong Jr., Balloon Fight, Super Mario Bros. 3. Alright, I always mess this one up. Well, we don't need another mush, or I always called it mushroom. We don't need another heart, so we'll just go for the coin. We don't really need extra lives either, though, at this point. So, a little bit of an update. So, one thing I want to do, let's see, 3-2, we will go with Mama. Or 3-3, I'm sorry. But something I want to do is, so now that I've got some world records on the NES Classic Edition, I want to take it a step further and get on the Twin Galaxies International Scoreboard. I don't think I'll have enough for a world record. You know, some of the, I mean, for the NES, you know, the Famicom disk system, the, you know, those records have been around. The NES Famicom, those records have been around for a long time. Those high score records. So what we are going to do is we're going to go for, there's a couple records we may be able to set. But we're really just going to be going to get our name on the scoreboard, because a lot of those scores, I could get top 5. You know, I've been able to get scores on, and I'm specifically looking at, you know, the old school score chasers, the black box games, Ms. Pac-Man, Pac-Man. You know, I'm confident that I could get my score on those, on the top 5 with, you know, among some of the truly greats like Tom Vodova and Glitch Cat. Oh no, did I lose it? No, it's still there. See if we can get a heart back. There we go. So when I do start doing recordings of myself score chasing, on the NES hardware, one thing to keep in mind is that I'm gonna have to like show myself playing the game. They won't accept the scores if it's... I guess I can't go this way. Ugh, I thought I landed right on him. Oh, and he's not even here. I believe this one is Mauser again. Alright, 4-1, we'll do Imagine. I mean, how great is this? I'm playing Doki Doki Panic on the NES. Not just on the NES, but on my high-def NES Cartridge. On an authentic cartridge, authentic board. I mean, this is retro gamer heaven right here. sprite overload causing some slowdown. I'm having a mug of tea. It is a brutally cold New England winter. One of the most unfriendly winters we've had in quite some time here in Connecticut. All right, this one we will do Mama. Isn't it amazing how so much of this game is in the Super Mario Bros. Universe, so to speak? The sound effects, the enemies, you know, whether it's the shysters or shy guys or whatever they're called. Ninjit, Sniffit. And one thing this game always makes me think of is my Super Mario Bros. 2 wallet. As silly as that sounds, I have, I believe it was, the company is Avia, but again, any retro gamer worth their salt knows exactly what I'm talking about. It is the Velcro trifold wallet that, you know, it's blue. It's got a lenticular hologram of Mario picking up a mushroom block over his head, and depending on which angle you're looking at it, he picks it up. It's also got, like, patterns, like cherries, vegetables, POW blocks. Alright, what is this, 4-3? We'll use Mama again. I know I'm going heavy with Mama, but it's funny because Luigi is considered the most challenging character to... Oh, no mushroom, or heart, or whatever. Bummer. I believe the boss of this level is Fry Guy. Pretty cool boss. Pretty fun boss fight, too. How do you get the heart all the way up there? Ah, the clouds. Well, that's my fault. Now we know. Maybe we can try again? Or does it disappear? We'll give it one more shot. Oh, no, it's still there. Thank you very much. Don't mind if I do. Ah. I was setting up to... Whatever, we'll finish with, Mama. Fun battle. Alright, I believe next is the dark level. So we're gonna use Lina. Maybe, I can't remember. But we're gonna start using her now. This is one of the tougher levels. World 6 and... Six and 7, not too tough, but this one might be the toughest of the entire game. There's another heart coming up. I don't think I've ever gotten it. Can't remember if it's the first or second one. We'll do the second one. There we go. There we go. I guess there's a first time for everything. I actually managed to get it. Here's where the game is no longer holding your hand. Now you have to fight White Birdo. White Birdo, no eggs. I believe this is the one with the flying albatross. No, it is not. And it's so seamless. If you're familiar with Super Mario Bros. USA, then this game is like putting on a mostly familiar glove. I usually never miss that, but oh well. So this isn't a very clean run, but, you know, forgive me. We're sticking with Lina. This, I think, is the one with the flying albatross. No. Alright, so what we want to do, we want to lure them. want to lure them to blow up that wall. We'll give it a few more tries. Okay, that'll work. Because I believe there is a... Alright, let's see if we can get him to take that one out too. Very nice. Thank you very much. We don't need any more hearts or coins, so we're okay to skip that area. Don't know if I mentioned this, but I confess I was not that good at this game. I was not very good at it, nor was I particularly fond of it. Mario Bros. 2 USA, not Doki Doki Panic. Obviously, I never played Doki Doki Panic as a kid. Alright, this is Claw Grip. Pretty easy boss fight. Alright, World 6, so we're going to use Papa. Oh, that didn't go well. I believe there's a heart either there or at the end, so we're gonna try and get ourselves a heart. First, we're gonna spam Cobrats until we can get ourselves a heart. There it is. And actually, we're gonna use him on Pokey over here. There it is. I apologize, the commentary's been kind of light. Once I got everything I wanted to say said. Alright, 6-2. Okay, I think this is the one with the, oh, I know I've said it like 3 or 4 times. I'm pretty sure this is the one with the albatross. So we will use Lina. Alright, so let's see, 6-3. Then Triquide again. I didn't realize we're going Lina heavy at the end, but that was the plan all along. Alright, we're gonna try that one again. No? Alright, I give up. I don't know where. If there was a mushroom, I don't know where it is. Yeah, no idea where the heart is. Probably a little further down. Oh well, we're not gonna worry about it. And here's where we go up, up, up into the sky. I think because the main title, as I mentioned before, has like a didgeridoo and a city in the sky or whatever. I do believe that this is the part where you go to the city in the sky. Now, I don't know the story for Doki Doki Panic. I do know the story for Super Mario 2 is It's All a Dream. I'm assuming it's the same thing, that this is like a bedtime story that becomes kind of real. It's a cute story. This is a very charming game. Alright, just a couple levels left. (7-1). I suppose we'll just finish it out with Lina. This part used to stump me as a kid. There we go. Woo! That's how it's done. can you not love the look and design of this game? Alright, last level. We're going to finish up with Lina. Alright, so the key to this level is there is one heart that is hidden. Ooh, we're not going. We're not going that way. No, thank you. If we can get the hidden heart, the level is not all that difficult. Bit of a labyrinth, but forgivable. Ooh, there we go. This is where we're going to find our saving grace. Excellent. Oops, forgot about that guy. Alright, so we have one tough Birdo. And I don't have to be the one to tell you, what makes this fight tough is that there is no solid footing. I was expecting an egg. Okay, we're finishing with Lina. Here comes the battle against the Hawkmouth, or in this case, the Strange Mask. Not a tough fight at all. Alright, and that brings us to Wart. Here's a point that was brought up on James and Mike Mondays when they played. It was either Doki Doki Panic or Super Mario Bros. 2. I think it was Doki Doki Panic. But they lamented that Wart was never brought... Oh, that's the game. They lamented that Wart was never brought back. And that it was cool that, you know, King Koopa one game, Wart the next. Why not have Wart again? Or a new final boss. But anyway, this is the ending, and it is shorter than the actual ending. It cuts out that final cutscene. Now what does this mean? How many times I lost lives? So I lost 8 lives altogether. And then it just kind of ends. It cuts out the ending credits. So on the one hand, a little bit disappointing that the intro and the ending are cut, but the game is largely intact. It plays the way it's supposed to. It looks like it's supposed to. Absolutely love it. This has become one of my prized possessions in my collection. Alright, well, thanks for tuning in. Next time, we got a real good one. Stay tuned. More to come.